What do you do when the man you vowed to spend your life with looks you in the eyes and says, "I think you should leave"? It's heartbreaking, confusing, and maybe even infuriating. But before you react, let's talk about the right way to handle this. Hey, I'm Michael Flynn, and welcome to Relationship Reset Academy. I've spent over 10 years helping people navigate the toughest moments in their relationships. And today, we're tackling one of the hardest: when your husband tells you to leave. Is this the end? Does he really mean it? Or is there something deeper going on beneath the surface? In this video, I'm going to break down the possible reasons behind his words and, more importantly, what you should and shouldn't do next. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear plan on how to handle this moment with confidence and dignity. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a relationship-saving video like this. And if you've ever been in a situation like this, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, let's talk about what you should do when your husband tells you to leave. Step 1. Don't panic, don't beg, and definitely don't pack your bags just yet. I know your emotions are all over the place right now. One minute, you feel like crying, the next, you're furious, and then suddenly you're numb. That's normal. When someone you love tells you to leave, it shakes your entire sense of security. But listen to me, you need to pause before you do anything. Your reaction right now will either open the door for change or slam it shut. It's tempting to react on impulse. Maybe your first instinct is to beg him to change his mind. Maybe you want to argue and demand answers. Or maybe you feel so hurt that you're thinking, fine, if he wants me gone, I'll leave and never look back. But this isn't about making a rash decision. You need to handle this with strategy, not emotion. Right now, your husband expects one of two things: either an emotional meltdown where you plead for another chance, or a defensive explosion where you lash out in anger. Both of those responses will only make things worse. If you break down and beg, he'll feel like he has all the control in this situation. If you lash out, he'll take it as proof that leaving is the right decision. Either way, you lose ground. What he doesn't expect is for you to stay calm. And that's exactly why you need to do it. When you keep your emotions in check, it sends a powerful message. You are not desperate, and you are not powerless. This single shift in your response changes the entire dynamic. It forces him to stop and think instead of just reacting. Now, I'm not saying you should pretend like everything is fine. This hurts, and you're allowed to feel that. But feeling something and letting it control your actions are two different things. Right now, control your actions. If you feel like you're about to cry, take a deep breath. If you're about to snap, pause. If you don't know what to say nothing. Sometimes, silence speaks louder than words. And one more thing, don't start packing yet. I don't care how serious he sounded. Whether this is just frustration talking or something deeper, packing up and leaving immediately hands all the power to him. Instead, you need to first understand what's really going on. And that brings us to the next step. Step 2. Get to the root of why he's saying this. A lot of people make the mistake of taking words at face value. But when it comes to relationships, what's being said isn't always the real issue. If your husband is telling you to leave, there's something beneath the surface that's driving those words. Is he truly done? Or is this a reaction of feeling unheard? Has he been carrying resentment for a long time? Or is he saying this in the heat of the moment? Is this an emotional outburst? Or does he actually mean it? Here's the truth. Most of the time, when a man tells his wife to leave, it's not because he's completely stopped loving her. It's because he's exhausted, frustrated, or emotionally overwhelmed. Maybe he's been feeling unappreciated. Maybe there have been ongoing arguments that never seem to get resolved. Maybe he doesn't even know exactly what he wants, but right now, pushing you away feels like his only option. Understanding this is key, because if you react without knowing the real reason behind his words, you'll either push him further away or make the situation worse. Instead, you need to stay calm and start paying attention. Watch his body language. Listen to his tone. Does he sound firm and certain? Or does he sound angry and impulsive? A man who is completely checked out will speak with cold attachment. A man who is speaking from frustration will speak with heat and intensity. The difference matters. You don't have to fix everything in one conversation. You just need to observe, listen, and gather information. And if you need help uncovering what's really happening and learning how to rebuild from there, visit romancedictionary.com/marriage. The insights you'll find there can change everything. The link is in the pop-up here and in the description below. Step 3. Respond with strength, not desperation. Most women in this situation fall into the same trap. They either shut down and give up, or they panic and try to fix everything immediately. Both of these approaches give your husband all the control. Instead, you need to respond in a way that makes him second-guess his decision. Right now, he thinks he has the upper hand. He expects you to either cling or crumble. But when you respond with calm confidence, it throws him off. Instead of pleading, say something like, "I hear you. If that's really what you want, I won't stop you. But I'd like to understand why you feel this way." That sentence alone does 3 things. First, it stops the power struggle. You're not begging, you're not arguing, you're just responding with emotional maturity. Second, it forces him to explain himself. And sometimes, when a person actually has to put their emotions into words, they start questioning if they really mean what they're saying. Third, it makes him rethink the way he sees you. If he's been expecting an emotional reaction, and instead, you're calm and self-assured, it shifts the way he looks at you. This is what I mean when I say power comes from your response. You don't have to fix everything in one moment. You just need to keep control of how you respond. Step 4. Start showing, not just talking. Words won't save your marriage. Actions will. If you want to shift things, you have to start showing change, not just talking about it. If there's been a lot of tension between you two, change the way you interact. If every conversation turns into an argument, take a step back and respond differently. If he's been pulling away, stop chasing and start creating the kind of energy that makes him want to come closer. When a man feels like things have been stuck in negativity for too long, he stops believing things can change. But if he sees change happening, it plants doubt in his mind. Suddenly, he starts questioning if leaving is really the right choice. This isn't about playing games. It's about making real, noticeable changes in the way you communicate, the way you carry yourself, and the energy you bring into the relationship. Step 5. Give him space but stay in control. This is one of the hardest parts, but it's also one of the most important. When a man tells you to leave, it's often because he expects you to fight for his attention. He expects you to chase, to try to win him back. But what happens when you don't do that? It shifts the entire situation. Giving him space doesn't mean disappearing. It means pulling back just enough to let him feel the absence of what he's asking for. If he's taking you for granted, this will be the wake-up call. If he's expecting you to be desperate, this will throw him off. And if he's genuinely unsure about what he wants, this will give him the space to figure it out, without the pressure of a reaction from you. You're not powerless here. The way you respond, the way you carry yourself, and the way you control your own emotions will determine how this plays out. And if you want a step-by-step plan to rebuild your marriage, go to romancedictionary.com/marriage. You'll find powerful tools that can shift the way your husband sees you and bring back the love. The link is in the pop-up here and in the description below. You don't have to beg. You don't have to prove your worth. You just have to handle this with strength, confidence, and self-respect. And that's exactly what will make him rethink everything. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Has your husband ever said this to you? How did you react? I read every comment, and you never know. Your question might be the next video topic. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we're just getting started. I've got plenty more videos that will help you reignite love and rebuild your marriage. So stay with me. Also, if you're serious about turning things around, check out the next video. It's the perfect next step for you. You got this. I'll see you in the next one.